No, I'm not gonna make any jokes about Eula. It's already been overused, people are already tired of it. Alright everyone, who wants Eula Rerun? Okay, now who wants to pull for Eula? Yeah, I thought so. Despite all of the major changes happening in Genshin Impact since the intro update, Eula is still holding up to her title as the physical queen. But is she actually one of the best characters in the game? Because the only reason she has the title is because there is no other competition in the first place. Razor already found his new place in Hyperbloom Teams, and who is Xin Yang? I'm just kidding, I love you, Sinyan. So in this video, I'll teach you everything you need to know about Eula, from her burst artifact and weapons, to general playstyle and team composition to help you make the true physical queen. Hi everyone, my name is JyoSan and let's get into the video. First, let's talk about the important mechanic that make her who she is. Eula bursts slash into the enemy around her to deal cryo damage and then create what is called Lightfall Sword. It is explode, dealing huge amount of physical damage in the area after 7 second pass. While in this 7 second window, you can charge up the Lightfall Sword through your normal attacks or elemental skill. The more hit you land, the bigger the damage dealt by your Lightfall Sword once it explodes. Another thing that's important to know about her burst is that if Eula leaves the field where her burst is still active, the Lightfall Sword will explode immediately. This is nice because you can take advantage of this mechanic in case you need to save your Eula from enemy hit, or you need to explode the burst faster than it should be before the Abyss time limit. Eula's elemental skill slash swiftly similar to her burst, dealing cryo damage. There are two versions of this skill, with the tap version having a short 4 second cooldown, and when it hits an opponent, Eula gains a stack of Grimheart that can stack up to 2 times. Each stack of Grimheart will grant Eula increased resistance to interruption and defense. This definitely will help her to be more consistent on hitting the enemy to stack up her burst. Meanwhile, the hold version have a 10 second cooldown and it will consume the Grimheart stack. Consuming at least one Grimheart stack will reduce enemy cryo and physical resistance around her. Additionally, with her first talent, if 2 stacks of Grimheart are consumed when doing the hold version of her elemental skill, a smaller version of Lightfall Sword will be created that will explode immediately, dealing physical damage around Eula. Her second passive also allowing Eula to reset her elemental skill when she casts her burst. Eula will also gain 1 stack of Grimheart from this. So managing and playing around her Grimheart stack is not only crucial to deal the most optimal burst damage, but also to help you to survive while stacking up your Lightfall Swords. Therefore, there are some combo that you need to learn in order to master Eula burst rotation. For the most common use combo, you open up with her tap skill and immediately follow up with casting her burst. This will instantly grant you 2 stacks of Grimheart. Afterward, you want to deal 4 normal attack to gain some Lightfall stack, and then you do the hold version of the elemental skill, and then you end it with another 4 normal attacks. It's simple, right? That is because this is Eula's default combo, granting her the highest number of Lightfall stack while also really easy to execute. There are other specific combo for specific scenario that you can learn. Usually it is for taking advantage of every single thing in Eula team composition, but the amount of time that you need to learn them and how hard it is to execute compared to the result, making all of these alternative combo as something that you don't really need to prioritize to learn. Most of the time, as long as you master the standard combo, you will most likely find fantastic result from your lovely Eula. Now that we know how to play Eula, let's talk about how to build Eula. To make it quick, your talent priority will be her burst, and then your normal attack, and lastly, your elemental skill. This is because Eula burst contribute over half of her personal damage on the field. You don't need to level up your Eula to level 90 out of 90 since transformative reaction is not her main damage source, so you can stay at level 80 out of 90. For artifact, despite all of the new artifacts in the game, artifacts for Eula have not changed since her last rerun, which by the way is in last 2021. Yikes. Her best artifact is of course going to be the 4 set of Pale Flame. With the physical and attack buff potential, also since how Eula elemental skill works, you can maintain the max stack on this piece pretty easily. If you cannot get the best 4 set artifact, I know it's hard to do that, you can go for 2-piece combo. And it can be anything from 2-piece physical bonus, 2-piece burst bonus, 2-piece attack bonus, and even 2-piece energy recharge bonus. Also, you can option to choose any piece that have the better substat because at the end of the day, having a good main stat and substat is better than having the 4-piece or 2-piece combo. Oh, and also 4-piece emblem is surprisingly decent set since you need energy recharge and her high portion of the damage come from her burst. But I don't see any reason why you want to go for this set only for a decent result when you can get a better one with the 2-piece combo or straight up for the 4-set Pale Flame. For the stat, you want the standard DPS build with attack percent on the sense, physical damage goblet, crit rate or crit damage circle. Eula does need energy recharge, but her need of energy can be handled with using the correct support for her battery. Characters like Rosaria, Diona, Layla, Raiden, Fizzle is great. So it is good if you got energy recharge on your substat, but mainly you still want to get crit rate or crit damage on your substat too. Your substat priority will look like this. And now we're moving to weapons. There are many options for you, but everything is pretty straightforward so it's not really confusing. Number 1, Song of Broken Spine is of course her best choice. It gives huge base stat with physical substat, and after that it also gives you attack percent bonus and attack speed, which will make your combo become easier to perform. And after that, for the second place, it is going to be Beacon of the Red Sea and R5 Serpent Spine. Beacon weapons provide more consistent damage, while R5 Serpent Spine requires you to run shield character for your team, which is not really a problem since you usually run Eula with shielder either way. Next one, any kind of offensive 5-star claimer is a good pair for your Eula. So if you have any of them, just use it instead of wasting your Primogem on weapon banner. Meanwhile, for the 4-star, you have Aokomaru. If you have high refinement and it is depend on your teammates' energy cost burst. After that, Luxurious Sea Lord is the best free-to-play weapon for Eula, but not a lot of players have the weapon since it is even exclusive weapon. So for the real free-to-play choice, you get either the Tombed Starsilver or Prototype Archaic. With higher refinement, Prototype Archaic is better than Snow Tomb, but it is not really worth it to refine any of these weapons in the first place. Eula is a hyper-carry character, so therefore, building her team is pretty straightforward, which can be a blessing or a curse at the same time. The good is that it is easy to pick a team, since what Eula wants is always the same. But it is also mean that there is not much versatility in building her teams, and the replacement choice might not be able to perform optimally, hence reducing your team's overall performance. Now, standard Eula team will consist of Eula, with an Electro character that can provide off-field application, a cryo battery for Eula's burst, and versatile option on the last slot either for healing, shielding, or additional buff. For the Electro character, your best choice is gonna be Fizzle and Raiden because not only providing Electro application, they both also provide more damage to your team. Fizzle damage come entirely from O's off-field damage, so it is easier to play. Meanwhile, with Raiden, you deal damage with her own burst, so you have a different rotation between your Raiden burst and also your Eula burst rotation. But since Raiden also have team burst damage buff coming from her elemental skill, Raiden become the best Electro option to pair with Eula. You can also use Kuki Shinobu if you want your Electro character also become the healer. And for the cryo battery, your choice would be Kaya or Rosaria with the luxury choice of Shenhe, especially on C1 and C2. All of this character is perfect for your Eula because they have short cooldown elemental skill that will provide cryo particle for your Eula. And also, you can use Favonius weapon on them for more energy recharge. With Rosaria, you can get some crit rate buff, so she is better than Kaya. And for the last slot, you can use cryo defensive support such as Diona or Layla or more buff like Mika. You can also use Zhongli instead for a better shield and resistance threat. Now, there's a lot of people have a misconception about Mika. Before Constellation 6 Mika, the damage that you deal when using other team variation is actually similar with using Mika. And not only that, Mika himself also have a problem with his own energy recharge. So before Constellation 6, it is better to option for another character instead of Mika. Running more than one finished weapon on your support also can be a good choice if it's still hard for you to keep up with the energy recharge problem. If you enjoyed this guide, make sure to support this video and the channel by like and subscribe since it helped me with the algorithm. If you like cosplay, you can follow my Instagram, TikTok or Twitter where I also post my cosplay content. I'm JyoSan, thank you very much and I hope you have a very good day. Goodbye.